Kevin, what are the challenges Matthew Stafford presents for your defense?
I mean, as long as he's playing in this league, I think he's playing probably the best football, probably of his career. He'll probably say that. I think he's just very confident within the scheme what Sean McVay is doing, playing at a very high level. Obviously, he has a top two, probably not two receiver in the league right now, Puka Nacua, who's playing at a very high level. Devontae Adams still Devontae Adams. Their run game is humming as well. It's the reason why they're number one offense in this league this year. But Matt Stafford presents a lot of challenges with obviously the arm talent's there. He throws probably one or two no-look passes a game as well. He's just a very talented quarterback that's been in this league a long time, seen a lot. It's been a lot of, high-pressure games. And you even watched the last week, Carolina, that last drive when he needed to go score. I mean, he just drove right down the field and was just operating at a high level. So huge challenge for us this weekend as a defense.
When you watch Puka on film, what strikes you about, one, the versatility, and then two, the volume? How much attention he gets?
Yeah, I would just say that he does everything. They throw him screens. Intermediate routes, deeper routes. His hands is incredible. I mean, even the one-handed catch he almost made against the Falcons, that would have been special. But also, he's a willing blocker. I mean, they're sending him in there to dig out the safeties, which, most number one receivers aren't really doing that like that. So it's just the toughness that I see from him. And he's one of those guys that, like, as a running back, like, they get better and better the more volume, more touches they get. So I expect for them to feed him as much as possible. So we're going to have to know where he is on every snap.
What about Devontae Adams? Is it so much as him being a technician? Is it his speed? Like, what is it about defending Devontae?
It's the technician. I think it's I think when you look at the best route runners in the league, they make all their routes look the same. Whether they're running a 5-yard hitch route, a go ball, a comeback at 15 yards, it all looks like they're going vertical. And I think that's the toughest thing. And he's so good at the line of scrimmage. I mean, that's the reason why, inside the 5-yard line, he has all these touchdowns because if Matt Stafford sees him one-on-one, he trusts that he's going to get a good release, going to get open, and he's going to put the ball where he needs to be. So he's still one of the top receivers in his league. So, like I said, that's why I think we have a huge challenge with the guys they have on the outside, but also their run game. As much as Sean McVay likes going big personnel with 2 tight ends, 3 tight ends, but they're still throwing the ball. I mean, Kobe Parkinson is a really big target in the middle. They throw screens to him. So a lot of things we got to defend against this offense.
What's the biggest difference? Plenty of these crazy emotional wins this season, but probably not more than last week. What's the key to kind of recalibrating, locking back in after that with another game looming?
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things about the playoffs. It's like anytime you win the playoffs, it's always going to be emotional. It's going to be a great win, especially when you're playing at home. But you equally, as much as you were on the high end, you got to reset immediately because all these teams we're playing are great teams. We got the potential, more than likely, league MVP coming in town. We can't be thinking about Green Bay anymore. As fun as that was, it's a whole new week. We're trying to be 1-0 this week. We have to prepare as much as we possibly can to try to go beat this team because that's what playoff football is about. You can't be worried about the last week because at the end of the day, this is a win-or-go-home game as well. So I think the focus would definitely be always on the Rams this week for sure.
In that with the Titans?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's just like any other game in the year where it's like they trying to be 1-0, but it's just super highly elevated now because at the end of the day, there's a real thing of having the emotional, the physical high that we were just on. You just have to be very good of just flushing everything immediately and getting ready for the next opponent.
What have you learned in your playing career about just tricks for your body to feel better when it's super cold, the way it's going to be Sunday?
I haven't played in the city this cold, but I think
a couple of weeks ago, right?
No, we have, but I think it's more about I think our body's very acclimated to it now. I think Ben has been doing a good job of making us practice in this cold weather with no heat, no heaters on the field, which has been a complaint for the most part for a lot of guys. But I think in these scenarios in this time of the year, you're kind of looking back on it. It's like, hey, man, it actually might be good that we didn't have any heaters because our body's going to be fully acclimated to this weather. Obviously, we talk about the Cleveland game, all these other cold games we've been in. It's going to be nothing for us to go out there and operate in the cold weather. Now, is that going to make a huge difference for the Rams? Who knows? I know for a fact that we got guys on this team that obviously everybody's not from Illinois. People from Florida, Texas, whatever it be, they don't like being in the cold. So, maybe it'll affect them as well.
Brady said he felt like the defense played a little timid in the first half.
Did you see it the same way, and how do you change that when it is another do or die situation to not have that same approach early?
Yeah, I think just like the aggressiveness of us on defense, I think maybe it was. I mean, I think guys was playing hard. I don't think it was a situation where we weren't playing hard. I think we tried to play physical. I think a couple calls we had where something that we practice all the time or something that I think 9 times out of 10 we get, we were kind of letting Christian Watkins get free on these flat routes and stuff like that. We weren't really on. I think on the one touchdown that Jaden Reed had, I think it was a good call by Matt LaFleur, honestly. I think they caught us in a good coverage where they kind of got the mismatch on Tremaine and he was able to kind of sit and then wheel back up. So I think it was a good play. I think also coming out of halftime, just the aggressive style that we were playing. I think DA was calling a lot of blitzes, right? If it was blitzing on the edges with the corners and the DBs, and I think we was getting more pressure on Jordan Love as well. So I think it's a combination of those things, but I don't want to question the guys of not playing hard and stuff. I think we were playing hard. I think just the style of how we played and also how DA was calling the game, we were just a little bit more aggressive.
What have you noticed about Sean McVay's offenses that are unique? Like, how does he consistently get people open?
I think, well, for one, I think his run game is unique, kind of almost similar to Shanahan and also even Ben, where they're doing so much as far as their personnel, moving them around a lot of different places, and they're creating angles in the run game, but also getting your eyes kind of off where they're shifting the guy here, but then they're bringing the tight end this way, but then the run is going this way, and then it's wheeling back, where it's kind of getting guys out of place, and they're able to get downhill. And, every run might not hit for 20 yards, but it's 4 or 5, 6, they're getting positive yards every time. I think that's very unique. But then also, just with the pass game, the different versatility of Puka, line Devontae Adams in a lot of different places, and also using tight ends. I think, Ben's kind of been doing this all year, but I think it's a reason why you like to have 2 tight ends out there, sometimes 3, because it changes our personnel as a defense. You go 3 tight ends, you want to go big base personnel, put more linebackers to stop the run. And then when you have guys that can get down the field as far as tight ends that can run routes and get open in the middle of the field, it creates mismatches. So I just think just the versatility of all the things you have to defend and be ready for as a defense as you prepare throughout the week. And then as you get in the game day, they might throw a wrinkle in there. It was like, oh, we haven't seen this. So I think they just do a really good job of being mixing up what they like to do on any given week.
Is there something about this scheme that really fits kind of like what you like to do? Like, why has this season been so positive over the course of the last 18 games now?
Definitely the scheme and everything. Ben and the coaches have been drilling as far as details and things like that. Play style with the O-line, how they work together, and just us as backs, with me personally being on my details and my execution, being where I need to be when I need to be there. Definitely the scheme, and then the way that they're coaching it as well. Yeah.
Ben was saying production. Oh, happy birthday. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Sorry. For you guys, what is the key, you think, to turning the page from the emotions of winning a playoff game that way? And for a lot of these guys, that's the first.
Yeah, that was an emotional game, but it's over with. And we know that. Emotions was high, especially the way the game ended. But like I said, that's over with. And I feel like everybody in this building, as far as players and coaches, know that. And we have a great task at hand this week coming up on Sunday. A great opponent that's coming in. So we can't really dwell on last week. Great to be a part of it, but we got to turn the page, and we're going to do that today.
Ben was saying production in the run game has dipped a little bit over the last few weeks. Where have you seen, what do you think some of the causes of that have been?
I know last week, playing a team for 3 times is tough in itself, but they did a lot of things defensively to kind of put us in a bind, I would say. And in games like that, I feel like you need to run the ball. You need to be efficient in the run game. So when you're not efficient coming out of it, you always look at different ways to kind of and it's good that we got the win so we can kind of correct those things this week. We got to get back on track.
Andrew, what stands out about their defensive line?
They've been phenomenal all year. I feel like that's the strength of their defense, I would say, in my opinion. Them guys up front, man, they get after it, relentless. Like I said, we got our work cut off for us, and we know that. We got to be on our P's and Q's offensively. We got to execute the right way. We got to be detailed every single play. It's a great group up there.
You guys have the second highest explosive run rate in the NFL. What do you think has been the key to generating that this season?
Like he asked, the scheme, I would say, and then just them guys up front, how they're playing, how they're gelling together, the communication up front with the looks that we're getting, they're making it right. They're getting us as backs to the second and third level where we can go ahead and showcase our God-given abilities, which positions that we want to be in. But Ben, coaching staff, how they implement the details that's involved in every single play, and it's a lot of them. So they're doing a great job up front and the coaching staff.
Some of that, I mean, sounds as simple as like just getting the yards before contact to be able to generate those runs.
Oh, most definitely. Anytime as a back, I feel like when I'm able to pick up speed and make things happen, good things happen.
You only
Obviously,
had a year
you-
with Stafford, but what was that experience like for you playing with Matt Stafford in Detroit?
Oh man, I call him the GOAT. That's my guy right there. When I got into the league, he was the first person to reach out to me. Going to Detroit, first guy I worked out with. A ton of respect for him, how he goes about his business. He's been doing it at a high level for so long. Can't say enough great things about him. He's a true warrior. Yeah, he's one of the greats.
Obviously, wins matter more, but for you to put up the numbers that you've hit this year, what does that mean? Like, how do you kind of categorize that, especially after last year where you were kind of vocal about that you weren't very happy with it?
Yeah, and I'll be like, I always say this, like when the team is having success, wins, and I feel like individual success comes after that. Just being blessed to have multiple opportunities to go ahead and contribute to that. When we're winning, I feel like I'll be a part of that in some aspect, and that shows in, I guess, play this year. You know what I mean?
Andrew, your catch and run right before the touchdown.
Yeah.
In that moment, could you tell there was a coverage bust that you were like when the ball's coming to you? Do you know that you have a lot of space in that moment, or did you have to kind of catch and turn
When I kind of like went to the left a little.
on the sideline? Yeah.
Before
DJ's touchdown.
I thought you were talking about mine. I'm sorry.
Catch right
Yes, when I know the DN didn't go out with me, I was hoping I got the ball fast and was able to make a explosive play. Caleb did a good job of getting me the ball with a little bit of space and was able to get a first down. Yeah.
DeAndre, when Ben said that when Jared Goff first got to Detroit, they modeled some of the offense from Sean McVay to make Jared more comfortable. Do you remember that? And the similarities, you can see similarities now between Sean McVay's offense and the offense you're running now.
I'm not in Sean McVay's offense to really know. Yeah, I don't compare this offense to Detroit or anything that got going on in LA. I think Ben did a good job of knowing his personnel here and then implementing that and seeing what we do well. I would say that.
DeAndre, go ahead.
But he said he adopted some for Jared Goff's comfort at the time.
So you asking me if I remember what they adopted for Jared Goff?
I mean,
I'm trying to understand what you're saying. What you asking?
Yeah.
To an extent, yeah, to an extent, but I don't really remember the exact things that went on. You know what I mean? But I feel like they do a good job here, knowing the personnel here and calling the plays that we do well. Yeah.
DeAndre, Darnell was telling me how much more demanding Caleb has become.
Yeah.
How much more demanding is he with you guys in the huddle and day to day?
He's been great, especially in gotta have it moments. It's kind of when you hear his voice in the huddle a little bit more, which is great. What you want to hear from a quarterback. Specifically, the one thing that comes to my mind that last drive. He kind of said something to us in the huddle where like everything was put into perspective. Like we know we got to go ahead and win this game. We in a position to go ahead and do so. So he's been great for us all year, and then gotta have it moments, and that shows up every single week, as y'all know. His leadership and I would say just the steps that he's taken since last year as far as maturity and things like that, his preparation, everything that he's doing day in and day out is showing up.
Did you see we've talked about his maturing and changing and developing. I mean, you guys have, people that were here last year, you guys have really seen it. Where do you think he's taken the biggest leap?
I would just say preparation, and like I will always say, I'm not in the meetings with him day in and day out, but I do know, like I always say, his car is here longer, his car is here earlier, and he's always has a notebook in his hand, always going over something. Like he's taking his process very, very serious, and that's something that we need to do. Every individual to go ahead and kind of have the success that we want to have, but he's been great with his approach.